Okay, so we talked about the welterweight or junior middleweight division, the 154 pounders, and finally, now we are reaching the average weight, which is why it's called the middleweight division. The middleweight division, as you can see, they're guys roundabout you and my height and weight, the average guy's weight. These guys are 5'11", 6 feet tall. They weigh about 160 to 160 pounds, and we have a bunch of them here. Really interesting division, actually, it's shaping up to be. Triple G, also known as Gennady Golovkin, is the super champion in that division. I thought he had a belt in another division. I don't know, but anyway, he is considered the super champion. I think he's defended his title belt a number of times to become that. He recently defended this year. He's undefeated, 30 wins, 27 knockouts. Comes from Kazakhstan. Reminds me a lot of Costa Tszyu, who has some heritage from Kazakhstan, I think, as well. And though he lived in Australia, his style, his way of cutting off the ring, shifting, punching and shifting, reminds me a lot of Gennady Golovkin. I want to say a couple things about that. Floyd Mayweather, for instance, fighting Gennady Golovkin, I would believe, strange as people may not understand this, I believe that Floyd would beat Gennady Golovkin based on a number of factors. When you box using the jab and using other techniques in boxing, even in fighting skills, you can beat Gennady Golovkin. Go look at Costa Tszyu versus Roger Mayweather and see what I'm talking about. Okay, Gennady Golovkin is an excellent boxer, but I saw him get beat in the Olympics by Andre Dirrell. He did score a lot on Dirrell, don't get me wrong, but I saw Andre Dirrell school Gennady Golovkin. Okay, so if you can box, you can beat Gennady Golovkin, and he has not been tested yet. His first test is going to be against Marco Antonio Rubio, this guy right here, the interim WBC champion. And instead of fighting Cotto, Rubio is going to be fighting Golovkin. Rubio is a big middleweight. He's big, he's tall, he's strong. So he's going to stand in front of Gennady, and Gennady's going to realize one punch is just not going to do it for him. Because he uses shifting, that's where he gets all of the leverage and power in his punches. But Marco Antonio Rubio is going to give him a run for his money. He's not going to just go down with a punch. And he also knows how to roll and slip punches. Now, he did get beaten by Kelly Pavlik way back in the day, but I think he's a much better fighter, and as he's with Robert Garcia, you're going to see some stuff. Alright? So, that's going to be interesting. Let me just start talking about these guys. Peter Quillen left the WBO title. He vacated it. I think he's targeting this dude, Daniel Jacobs. And he's lining himself up to fight this guy, Gennady Golovkin. Now, let's talk these guys' box records, right? Let's go. Now, the Ring Magazine has Miguel Cotto as the #1 middleweight. It's kind of ironical because Miguel Cotto is not really a true middleweight. He beat Sergio Martinez, who everybody was ducking. But he beat Sergio Martinez, who had two very bad knees. So he couldn't really move as he wanted to. And yet, Sergio was very game, even though Cotto knocked him down, I think it was 4 times in round 1. Sergio came back and he was fighting all through the fight, but his corner called it quits. So that's how Miguel Cotto beat Sergio. Miguel Cotto's record is 39 wins, 40 defeats, and 32 knockouts. Okay? So he fought Sergio on June 7th, and he became the WBC middleweight champion of the world. Marco Antonio Rubio is the interim champion. Sam Soliman of Australia is the IBF champion. And Gennady Golovkin is the WBA champion. 44 wins to Sam Sulaiman, 11 defeats, and 1 no contest, 18 knockouts. Defended May 31st, 2014. Check this guy out. He's from Australia. Daniel Jacobs recently won his fight on August 9, 2014. He has 28 wins, 1 defeat, 25 knockouts. He knocked out an Aussie as well. Dmitry Chudinov is the interim champion from Russia. He's undefeated. He has 14 wins, 2 draws, 9 knockouts. And he defended he fought last year. Okay. Marco Antonio Rubio, 59 wins, 6 defeats, 1 draw, 51 knockouts. Okay. So the middleweight division is really starting to team. It's starting to get exciting. I really want to see Peter Quillin fight Daniel Jacobs, and then I want to see Quillin fight Gennady Golovkin. That's going to be a hell of a fight. Quillin versus Golovkin is going to be a hell of a fight. Quillin called out Golovkin, a long time ago. So Quillin would love a shot at Gennady Golovkin. Quillin's well-schooled, Michigan native, came across from Cuba, so he knows the Cuba school of boxing as well. Also well-schooled from the Midwest. Fought in New York, but really he's a Midwest fighter. Alright, he was trained in New York. So I would love to see Quillin versus Golovkin. That's going to be a hell of a fight.